Welcome to all you Scorpios. This is your monthly horoscope for March of 2020. And the first thing that I want to mention is Venus. Venus, the planet of love, the planet of attraction, the planet of value, is from the 6th of March transiting your 7th house of relationships. So for those of you Scorpios who had a rough time when it comes to relationships, or where nothing really happened when it comes to your relationship, this is now a very good energy. This Venus in Taurus, in its own sign, in your 7th house of relationships. They always say, especially the Scorpio risings, that they have beautiful partners because of the Venus ruled sign of Taurus on their descendant. But whatever it is, it's harmony. And it's not only beauty, but it's also harmony in relationships. And it's a very social month for you, for in general, of course, because these are general horoscopes. It's a very social month because it's not only Venus in your 7th house that is in itself quite enjoyable, because you seem to connect better with people. And not that you're not doing that before, but it's more and more pleasant connections with people. And Scorpios sometimes have a rough time because they are often quite misunderstood because of their complexity, and not everything is as it seems. And now with Venus in your 7th house, single, it's a good time for you when you are single to meet someone new. Absolutely, especially towards the end of the month with a trine to Jupiter Pluto in your 3rd house. And that is quite rare. But also for existing relationships, also the 7th house is connections one-to-one, your clients. It is an improvement, and clients are going to be more gentle towards you, more charming. That's all that Venus stuff there, which is making your life easier for sure. And you are also willing to understand other people, to get along. And that's really, really nice. And as I said, throughout the end of the month, Jupiter and Pluto are going to connect with each other, which is quite rare. And this has to do with transformation. And you are the sign of transformation. This is on a mental level, as it happens in your 3rd house, but it's connected with other people because it's getting an aspect from Venus in your 7th house. So that could be really starting a new relationship and feeling very loved up and thinking about love very much, but also feeling that transformation and that communication has a lot more meaning for you now, because of course that's the base of every good relationship. And but there's definitely some sort of a windfall on the very end of the month. So it could also mean that for work, for instance, you need to speak for a group of people, or you need to communicate something important. Wow, the message is really going to be received very, very well. So if you have to do something that has to do with PR, that has to do with promoting yourself, that has to do with your thoughts and explaining them to others, this is really, really good energy. I mean, Scorpios in itself, it's a very authentic sign, and it's a sign that you need to consider. And but now when it comes to your speech, when it comes to your communication, there is very, very gentle energy coming your way. So enjoy that and take opportunity when you need to speak up, and you will be heard and it will be received very, very well. Also, everything that has to do with public relations, with websites that you want to promote, do it towards the end of the month, and because then there is pretty good energy going on there. And also Mars will be in your 3rd house of communication, and so it will be a very lively, energetic month for you, with lots of emails, lots of communications with others and in the neighborhood, or maybe a short trip, or falling in love whilst you're doing a short trip could be the case as well. So that's all pretty good energy. Now Mercury goes direct on the 11th, and that happens also in nice houses, in the 4th house, but also in the 5th house of your own creativity. especially when Mercury will be going into Pisces, which is a fellow water sign for you, and that will be towards, for you, the 17th of March and onwards. It's a very creative time as well. Again, communication in a relationship can become a bit more understanding now, healing even, and you enjoying yourself pretty well when it comes to the factor of connecting with others. Then the huge shift that is going on for all of us is Saturn shifting signs. Saturn has been in Capricorn for a long time. That was your third house. I've been talking about that for a long, long time. And now it's shifting into Aquarius. As from the 23rd of March up until the 3rd of July. So it's only a couple of months that Saturn will be doing the first degrees of Aquarius. And then it goes back into Capricorn. And then the end of the year, Saturn goes back into Aquarius and stays there for a very long time, even the whole of 2021. So you're going to have a sneak preview of this Saturn in Aquarius, what this will mean for you. For you, this is more significant than Saturn in the third house. Why? Because the fourth house is a key area of your life, and Saturn is the planet of restructure. It's the planet that wants to structure. It's the planet that can be quite testing, but it wants quality before quantity, and wants less is more. And that has to do with, as I said, your fourth house. So observe what this could be for you, having this Saturn shift towards the end of the month, shifting into your fourth house, which is the deepest point of your horoscope. The fourth house is connected with home. It is also connected with your emotions, the moon. It's a bit like a Saturn moon transit. So it has to do with maturity on an emotional level, for sure. It also has to do with your ancestors, where you're coming from. So Saturn in the fourth could be really a testing time towards your own development of emotional maturity. And actually, that's something that Scorpio really, really wants after all. They want to be strong, they want to be consistent, and they want to have this, Scorpio is very much up and down and to the extremes when it comes to their emotions, but Saturn wants to mature that. Saturn wants to make that more easy for you in the long run. So what could it be? It could be tons of things, but what you see quite often with Saturn in the fourth house is that people become more mature, that people become more, their attitude towards their emotions shifts. They become more mature, even when they are young, or it doesn't matter when this happens, what age you're having. It's about also being self-sufficient. And now the bell is going on, but I'm not gonna look. I'm just going to continue. I don't know who's there. We'll see. Anyway, that was the last part of it as well. I hope it was helpful for you, but for sure there is some seriousness coming your way with Saturn in your fourth house, and it could also mean that where you live, and as it opposes your work-life balance, there need to become some restructuring attitude as well. So there could be you at home trying to have more discipline in some sort of way, and so that you can feel better when all this is at the end of the road, so to speak. But definitely a maturity testing time for you. But I think in general, Scorpios are not afraid of that. Scorpios are not afraid of quality before quantity, and of authenticity as well. Having said that, this was what I for the month of March. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want a reading, get in touch. Bye bye.